Purports by proof for fairy tales or any kind of story. Cinderella by Dolly Pedraza. Okay, number one is story grammar rules. Grammar is the study of the rules and principles that regulate the use, the language, and the organization of words within and sentences. It is also called the set of rules and principles that govern to use a particular language. Thus, each language has its own grammar. Grammar is a part of the general study of language called linguistics. Classically, to a study of the language is divided into four levels: phonetic phonological level, syntactic morphological level, lexical semantic level, and pragmatic level. Sometimes the use of the term grammar is restricted to rules and principles that define the second of these levels. However, the separation of the levels is not totally clear because certain grammatical rules are made at the phonetic phonological level, and there are also parameters of semantic critical that serve to decide when a certain construction is ungrammatical. For example, in this story we find subjects, verbs, predicates, nouns, adjective, personal pronoun, place, and time. Okay, number two is a story, setting, and episode. Cinderella is an American fantasy movie based on the fairy tale. The plot is based on an animated movie. The setting is she never knew his name. For his part, upon learning that he's little time left, the king insists that his son, the prince, find a girlfriend and future wife. When the prince's dance party was announced, he is ecstatic at the prospect of marriage. They finally get married. This story is divided into several episodes. Okay, in number three, it's episode, beginning, development, and ending. Number one is beginning, and Cinderella lives happily until her stepmother and stepsisters place her as servant. Development. One day he went to dance and she danced with the prince, and he fell in love with her. But as the fairy warned him that everything would be what it was at midnight, he had to leave, but I live a glad sleeper. And the ending, the prince declared all over the kingdom who had the issue, and found Cinderella married and lived happily ever after. And number four is development, complex reactions, and global fat. This story is about a very beautiful young woman named Cinderella. She had two parents and only had one quick stepmother and two bad stepsisters. She trained on finding her blueprints. Her weak stepmother forced her to clean the whole house and to survey in all her stepsister and of course her. Uh, the Cinderella had two friends, my they were very good and they didn't agree with what her smart mother did to her. There was a castle where a prince lived. He should marry and find his princess, but he was looking for a very good girl, and different from the others. His father, the king, organized a party where all the beautiful maidens of the kingdom were invited. On the other hand, here the stepsister of Cinderella decide to go to the dance because they believe that the prince is going to fix on them. But as they come and know that Cinderella is very beautiful, try as much as possible so that it doesn't go away. When that evil Cinderella's stepmother arrives, she doesn't her go to dance. Cinderella cries and gets sad, but that is in vain. On that night, a fairy appears and designed her to help her go to dance. Then with her one magic cane conjured an beautiful carriage and his two amazing beautiful horses for the carriage. But finally, at the time of running as leaves a shoe lying on the floor, the prince picked and ordered all the men of the kingdom to try in not to have it with her she would marry. The time came when I played the Cinderella house his sister tried to put in the bar. Of course, I don't remind it Cinderella tried the slipper, and of course it's imperfect. So that's how the prince happened to find Cinderella married and lived happily ever after. It is very beautiful story full and magical and illusion Cinderella always dreamed of finding its blueprints and show it that dreams come true as long as you have faith and desire to be fulfilled.